And we are live on YouTube as well. So shout out right now. We got a relatively small a small group of people with us, but they'll be coming in here tonight because this ought to be an interesting discussion tonight, man. I cannot wait to hear what people got to say about this right here tonight. This is gonna be something else right here. And I kind of want to hear too. We got to make sure too, because I know a lot of people. Because I've seen people leave comments even before the actual went live on YouTube. Abdul Ali Muhammad on YouTube said, "This is what y'all voted for." So it's like, I just find that hilarious when I hear people say, "This is what y'all voted for. This is what y'all wanted. This is."
Don't they get aggravated, man, when people do shit like that? Excuse my French, y'all. Don't they get aggravated when people say stuff like that?
I mean, here's the thing: they talk about this is what y'all voted for. At the same time, they act like their people were actually bringing in all of these benefits for black people, and they were doing so much for black people and this and that or whatever. Like, look, your people, the Democrats, they weren't exactly lobbying on no reparations either. They were trying to do as much as possible to go ahead and kind of stay away from that topic. They didn't want to talk about this. They tried to steer away. Whenever you ask Kamala or any Democratic leader a straightforward question about reparations, it was always a bunch of just gibberish, just talking to be talking, nothing nothing concrete or worthwhile, just sitting up there trying to deflect and trying to say something without getting pinned down. So later on when somebody comes back and says, well, you guys did promise this or promise that. Well, no, we didn't actually promise this. We didn't say that. We said that we would do a study. We said that we would research it. We said we would take a look into it. We said we would form a commission. We said we'd do all this and that, whatever. So it's like when I hear black Democrats say this and that or whatever, it's like, look, y'all, come on, man. You talking about this is what we voted for. But what about all the times black Americans voted for the Democratic Party and nothing came about? So I mean, it just when I hear that, I just think it's crazy. Like, okay, if y'all want to complain and say this or that or whatever, because I keep every time some kind of case of police brutality happens, I keep hearing people talk about, this is the qualified immunity. This is what Trump is going to do. This is what you guys voted for. This is what as if like police brutality took a break underneath the Biden administration or the Obama administration. Like people still wouldn't getting their heads kicked in out here on the streets and stuff by cops. DJ, I sent you the co-host invite, so if you see it, you go ahead and accept that. But yeah, man, I just figure like, hey, we're gonna touch up on this topic tonight. People, they're panicking on X, guys. Make sure, what's up, Avenge? I see you down there as well too, and Avenge, I see you over there in the YouTube world as well too. So shout out to you as well too. People eventually, I'm sure they'll start coming in as the space goes on and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna be reading some of the comments from this actual post as well too, because I think he had the guy I put Don Lemon had a video, and he had the video he posted. He was talking about it. Keith Boykin, he has a video as well too. He posted it early today, and so we're gonna take a look and we're gonna read some of these actual comments that our people and white people and everybody else is saying in the actual comment section as well too. Like I say, people are having a breakdown. It seems like folks are crashing out. I mean, you haven't heard Trump say one thing specifically like, hey, you know what, I'm going to sign a bill and I'm going to create reparations for white folks. But you got a lot of people that's pissed off as well too. DJ, Professor, you guys, am I good on the audio as well too? Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, guys, in the day, I don't know if y'all checked, they did have updates as well too. So definitely for those that remember, guys, check those updates as well too. But yeah, I want to go ahead and touch up on this topic real quick. I'm going to read just the actual I'm going to read a little article from what site is this? TimeNowNews.com. Let me go ahead and get to them. Professor, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so let me read an article real quick. It says Trump to pay reparations to white victims of racial discrimination Claims surface. Okay, claims surface. This is what people are talking about. It says several social media users on Tuesday wondered if President-elect Donald Trump will pay reparations to white people who have suffered a racial discrimination due to diversity initiatives in higher education. The speculation came after the Republican released a video talking about reforming the education system in the United States. Okay. Tuition costs. Tuition costs at colleges and universities have been exploding, and I mean absolutely exploding, while academics have been obsessed with indoctrinating America's youth. The time has come to reclaim our once great educational institutions from the radical left, and we will do that. Our secret weapon will be the college accreditation system, Trump said in the video. Give me 1 second because I'm reading this on the actual site right here as well, too. The 78-year-old further stated that accreditors are supposed to ensure that the schools are not ripping off students and taxpayers, but they have failed totally. He argued that the radical left accreditors have allowed Marxist and anti-American ideologies to proliferate in higher education. He also discussed introducing new standards for colleges, emphasizing the protection of free speech, reducing administrative costs, and eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion roles. Trump ended his speech by stating that he intends to direct the Department of Justice to take civil rights actions against schools engaging in racial discrimination under equity policies, with penalties that could include potential fines or reductions in endowment funds. Trump, and here's what some users said, Trump is about to pay reparations to white people who have suffered racial discrimination due to diversity initiatives in higher education. This is exactly why ideas such as black people can be racist towards whites have to be shut down. They're about to institutionalize that, one person said on X platform, formerly known as Twitter. Hold on. It says, however, it's important to note that Trump has not announced any reparation programs yet. So people are speculating, people are saying stuff, but at this point in time, there has been no mention of any type of reparations, period, going to black people, white people, Latino people, whatever people. So at this point in time, there has been no actual talk of reparations at this point in time, guys. So I just want to go ahead and mention that. Let me read a couple comments. Brianna Campbell says, people that abandon Black Americans, lineage-based cash reparations and demands. People that abandon Black Americans, lineage-based, will have karma waiting for them. So shout out to Brianna Campbell. Shout out to her. I see originals up in the space as well, too. So, guys, I definitely want to get what you guys feel about that, but I do also want to read some comments when I get a chance. But I see we got original up in the space as well too. So we got to can you guys hear me? Because it seemed like I'm almost about to go in the Matrix. Can y'all hear me? Okay, yeah, because it keeps like kind of trying to freeze up, like so. Okay, I'm just because it kept kind of like freezing up a little bit. Original, what's going on, Original? How you doing tonight? Oh, Original came up, but I guess Original said he's not ready to speak quite yet. So
I'm multitasking. I was wondering what was going on because I had to leave and come back in, and I thought I couldn't hear you. But then I would hear you, then I wouldn't hear you. So I said, let me click to be a speaker and see if I can hear. So everything seems to be working fine now. Doing great. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, Original? You know how these spaces are as well too. I see Christian Hammer down there as well too. So shout out to Christian Hammer. Original, I don't know if you got a chance to see if you heard any of what I was reading as well too. But did you see the post where it was talking about and a number of people from Don Lemon on, a number of people were talking about the actual video that Trump released, and a lot of people, I guess, they have this idea that Trump is going to try to go ahead with the DEI situations going on college campuses. He feels that I'm pretty sure he feels that white people are being discriminated against, and then you got a lot of people feeling like, hey, he's going to try to take some steps using the DOJ as well too to go ahead and try to get quote unquote reparations for the white people that have been discriminated against from these policies as well too. So what's your thought on that?
I saw some of that, but then my position is, well, why didn't the Democrats do anything for us? I mean, I know a lot of these people, they are pissed off, and but the Democrats, they don't have a plan for us. We are never included in their plan. The Democrats decide, expect black Democrats decided not to bring up those two reparations laws in California. So whatever Donald Trump, see, I didn't vote for either party, and whatever happens, happens. And so, but if Don Lemon and all these people are going to make these accusations, so I don't know if the video is true. I don't know if with all this AI, I don't know if the video is true or not. But I don't trust Don Lemon. I don't trust. Only media I trust is what I get here with you and other people on social media. Because these other people, they've been lying to us for so long, and they are upset because, let me see if I can put this picture. I got this image from someone today. I'm going to put it in the purple pill as to how California. This image I'm putting in there. This is how California voted in 2020, and this is how they voted in 2024. Look at how red California is in 2024. And so I think that these Democrats, like Don Lemon, whereby the Democrats have been using the black vote to promote gay rights and everything else, and leaving us with nothing. So we'll just see what happens. Because I know the Democrats are going to go on a campaign of making all these assertions that the Republicans and Trumps are doing this, that, whatever. But they didn't do a damn thing for black folks when they had power. When Jim Crow Joe and Barack got into office the first 2 years, they had control of the Senate and the House, and they was in the White House. And they didn't do a damn thing for black folks. And let's not forget.
Hey, Original, can I get you up a little bit louder if possible, just for YouTube?
Okay. But let's not forget, during the 2020 primary, Jim Crow Joe pretended to support reparations during the primary. But after it was known that he was going to be the nominee, he flipped on black folks and said he will only support reparations if the Indians are included. And see, that right there is a Democratic talking point, because somebody asked Big Swole about reparations, and she said the same damn thing. Well, yeah, she said, oh yeah, African Americans have been marginalized, but she said, but the Indians must be included. No, they don't. They didn't suffer through this with us, and they're not entitled to anything that we get. So I think a lot of this may be a Democratic strategy to try to scare us or move us back to them. Because if you Newstoter, look at that image I put in the purple pill and see how red California was in 2024. That's what has them shaking. And then Newstoter, I heard that it's being stated that approximately, they're saying about maybe 16 million black folks sat on the sofa and did not vote. So the Democrats are doing whatever they can do to try to sneer us back into their camp. But oh no, we ain't coming with if for those of us that may go back, we're not going back without tangibles. So they can forget that. They can pop up all this stuff all they want. Hell, we know the Republicans are racist. What did Malcolm X tell us? The fox and the wolf. The fox is conniving and sneaky and pretend to be your friend, but it still kill you. The wolf just kill you outright. That's the Republican. So what are they talking about? And let me say this in our land. Dr. Benjamin E. May said, and I think Malcolm said it too, that in the future, our problem won't be with the conservative, it would be with those liberals and progressives in our land.
All right. I'm wondering if our people may be having some connection issues, because I see people coming in here, popping in, popping out, like it's the rapture. So I'm thinking again, guys, because I can tell when we start having those issues that I almost have to end the space and start it back up. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick. My people on YouTube, I'm not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to end this Twitter space. DJ, Professor, Original, Black, Miss, who was that? Miss Bruna, Vince, give me 1-2 minutes. Let me go ahead and end this space real quick. Come right back, get it back on because people, I see them coming in and out, and I think they're having some connection issues. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll be right back, guys. So let me go ahead.
Come over to the YouTube, hang out for a minute, subscribe to Newstoter YouTube. Come over to YouTube for 2 minutes.
Yeah, let me go ahead. Hopefully, I don't have to restart the phone all the way in the space or just let me close it. But I want to go ahead and end the space, and then we come right back. I'll be right back, y'all. So let me go ahead and get this thing rolling again. All right, for my people on YouTube listening, guys, it's the issue with the actual space going on. So I'm going to go ahead and end that. We end that space, and then we're going to go ahead and see if we can go ahead and start this new one up. Because everybody was having connection issues trying to come in there. And we want to go ahead and get this thing rolling the right way. So go ahead and do that. Because the conversation should be a pretty good conversation tonight. But we want to go ahead and let everybody get a chance to come in. And hopefully that won't be the issue this time with the connection because people were just coming in and we saw them leaving and everything else as well too. So, but yeah, we're back. We're back in it. All righty. So yes, we're back. We're back. All right. Party Goya, what's going on? What's going on? And we about to get this thing back rolling again, guys. We had to restart the space up because we was having some connection issues. So let us go ahead and get everything rolling back. Shout out to everybody coming in here. Thank you, guys. I know some of you were trying to come in the other space and there was some connection issues, but we're back. We're talking about Trump giving white people reparations. That seems to be what's going on. Well, a lot of people they're asking that question: is Trump actually going to give white people reparations? Keep in mind, Trump hasn't said anything legally whatsoever. He did in response. He was talking about the actual colleges and stuff like that, about the issues that they were having in terms of what he felt was being discriminatory against white people and some of the DEI type things of that nature. He's talking about trying to go ahead and use the Department of Justice to go ahead and basically hit endowments, college endowments up, and also, give back money to people he feels that were wrong as well too. So, and that caused a lot of our people to kind of, say, hey, exactly what's going on here? What's up with this right here? So yeah, real quick, just want to let you guys know that. DJ, you up and you back up in here with no problem?
Yeah, mic check 1 2 1 2. Make sure y'all share the room. Y'all share the room back out. Let's get the people back up in here. Newstoter.
All right. Okay. Shout out to you, Nita. I see you up in here as well too. Original. I had you up here speaking, but then I know you were finished, but if I can get you back up here because I know you were in the middle of actually speaking. I did read the actual article that was we were talking about. But DJ, do you have a way of playing that video so people can actually hear it?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Let me share the room back out real quick.
Yeah, share the room back out. You guys share it out as well too. We're back. We had to break it down. We had to go ahead and we had to go ahead and stop that space before because just too many connection issues going on. You know how it is in these spaces. For those of you guys that missed it, I will touch up on this article real quick. Again, just for those that's coming into the new space and that missed it. It's titled Trump to pay reparations to white victims of racial discrimination claims surface. Give me 1 second. Okay, several social media users on Tuesday wondered if President-elect Donald Trump will pay reparations to white people who have suffered racial discrimination due to diversity initiatives in higher education. The speculation came after the Republican released a video talking about reforming the education system in the United States. Tuition costs at colleges and universities have been exploding, and I mean absolutely exploding, while academics have been obsessed with indoctrinating America's youth. The time has come to reclaim our once great educational institutions from the radical left, and we will do that. Our secret weapon will be the college accreditation system, Trump said in the video. Okay, let me see if I can get all that. Give me 1 second on the site. The 78-year-old further stated that the accreditors are supposed to ensure that the schools are not ripping off students and taxpayers, but they have failed totally. He argued that the radical left accreditors have allowed Marxist and anti-American ideologies to affiliate in higher education. He also discussed introducing new standards for colleges, emphasizing the protection of free speech, reducing administrative costs, and eliminating diversity and inclusion roles. Trump ended his speech by stating that he intends to direct the Department of Justice um, civil rights action against schools engaging in racial discrimination under equity policies, with penalties that include potential fines or reductions in endowment funds. The president's elect speech sparked rumors about reparation. Trump is about to pay reparations to white people who have suffered racial discrimination due to diversity initiatives in higher education. This is exactly why such black people can. This is exactly why such ideas as black people can be racist towards whites have to be shut down. They're about to institutionalize that. One person said on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. And of course, it says, however, it's important to note that Trump has not announced any reparation programs yet. So, even though people are talking about that, he has not officially announced any type of reparation programs as of right now. So we just have to go ahead and put that out there as well too. DJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's good, bro? Shout out to the room.
Yeah, because it seems like I keep trying, like it's almost trying to put me in the matrix. So, okay, so you got your hand up. So go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say real quick before I play the audio or whatever. I'm still queuing it up. Don Lemon, he part of the fair mongering squad, so it's like with Democratic shell, Vivek embarrassed you because you couldn't really say what you wanted to say on the CNN, aka the Klan News Network show about Black Americans' rights to bear arms and all this other stuff, and then you try to get your own little thing going with the Twitter network over here, only to be obviously you had some type of prejudice, a racist issue happened with Elon, so that didn't work out. So yeah, you just kind of fair mongering. A lot of this stuff that Trump talking about is that these white folks don't want us having anything, to be honest with you. So Trump not looking at it as, oh well, these white folks are actually being prejudiced towards us, and I'm pretty sure he has an understanding of that. But this is the base he's rolling with, and this is the stuff that he wants to try to do. Hey, that's just what lawsuits are for. That's all it is, man. So ain't no need to be scared of nothing. Get your money together. You start learning how to file civil lawsuits. It's just really that simple. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in the matrix, so I'm trying to
Told ain't in the matrix.
I just got out the matrix. I was stuck in there while you was reading. So I'm trying to. It keeps kind of like trying to put me in the matrix. So I don't know what's going on. So, but go ahead and do your reading or whatever. I mean, go ahead and play it. And hopefully, if I get in the matrix, just go ahead. If I don't respond because I keep going back and forth in the matrix, just go ahead with the broadcast because I keep going in the damn matrix.
Hey, Richard, you want to finish over? What's that now?
I said you wanted to finish your statement from before we ended the broadcast. Before share the room out. Share the room out. That's the south space. We have to start up again. Go ahead.
I've already shared it. See, here's the issue. You all remember when Marcel and some other people went to South Carolina to an NAACP rally, and they would not allow Marcel and those other people to come into that rally holding up signs saying reparations. So all these Democratic shields, when they start saying this stuff, we need to remind them what they have done. Why didn't they get us reparations? See, that's the problem right there. They had, for 2 years, they had the House and the Senate, and they did nothing for us. So don't come to us now about what Donald Trump is going to do, because they're mad because I put that image into the purple chat again, Newstoter, showing how California voted in 2020 and how they voted in 2024. Look at how red that is. The Democrats are pissed off because we dumped their butts and told them that, look, you're not doing anything for us anyway, and all you're doing is using our vote to represent all demographics except for us. And so they're going to use this reparations issue to try to say to us, oh, child, you're going over there, you're voting for Donald Trump, or you said you're going to stay at home and you're not going to vote. That's what this is all about. So Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to do, it's not like we're friends with them anyway. The Democrats were supposed to be our friends, but they never did anything for us. So they need to answer that question before Don Lemon and the rest of them, because see, the truth be told, all that gay rights information came about because of the Black Congressional Black Caucus. And like I said before, Newstoter, there are 5 black people from Georgia in Congress. And then you got Raggedy Raphael in the Senate. And yet none of them will mention lineage-based reparations for us. So who are they fooling? See, again, this is another perception management scam. So as DJ said, they're going to do what they're going to do. And I'll land with that.
Yeah, so it'll be back up here in a minute. So while we getting the technical difficulties, right, let's go on over here, see if y'all can hopefully hear this little words from Donald Trump. So right here, this Don Lemon, aka Don Lemonade, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the black journalist, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Original 42. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the black journalist, man. So he said,
yeah, I keep coming in.
Shout out to the fruitcakes, the Foosies.
Hey, I keep coming in and out, so definitely DJ hold it down as well too, and just in case, because I keep having some difficulties here, so definitely hold it down, and everybody be mindful of the language as well too. So, but go ahead, DJ.
Oh, for sure, I got you, bro. So hopefully you get it right on the phone. So right here, Don Lemon talking about Trump wants reparations for white people. So listen to this real quick.
Oh my gosh, Donald Trump wants reparations for white people and getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit, unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Thank you.
Reparations are for white people. This is America. You go.
All right, so I'm gonna let it play one more time. Hopefully y'all heard that. I'm gonna just let it rock one more time. Let's go one more time, y'all.
Oh my gosh, Donald Trump wants reparations for white people and getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance the measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Thank you. Reparations.
DJ, I didn't hear anything that man said about reparations right now. I ain't hear none of that.
Hold on, Professor. Hold on.
You voted for it.
Hold on, bro. So calm down, man. Let's let me play this last little bit again with Dom. Let me set at the end. Hopefully y'all can hear that.
For white people.
Hold on.
They're going to have real education in America. Thank you. Reparations. For white people. This is America. You voted for it.
Yeah, so right there at the end, Professor, if you heard that. Oh, this is America. You voted for it. Reparations for white people. And as you just said, you got it, Coles, brother. He ain't saying nothing about no reparations, man. He talking about the education system.
Right.
Exactly. Other stuff. But go ahead, dog. You got it. What's up, fam?
Yeah, hey, what's up, DJ? Man, that's what I say, man. Hey, look, we got people just trying to get people upset over nothing, man. This is what we got going on. We have people coming up in these spaces, coming up with all kinds of crazy ideas because they are mad about this election. We even have this woman, the Indian woman, trying to do a recount. She wants people to send money to do a recount. So, see, this is all craziness, man, because these folks are pissed off because they didn't get what they wanted. And the majority of the people that's doing all of this are going to be these people that's the proofs, the LGBT community. I'm sorry, I'm naming it to you people. Mainly it's you. These sorry wanna be
These dark clouds on YouTube said the same things for the Rainbow Club.
Yeah, it's the Rainbow Coalition. That's who it is. You sorry rainbow colored men. You want to be women, that is. Let me change that.
Language I'm just saying.
That want to be women. You are the main ones that I see all up in these spaces that are fruitcakes and fruit seeds that's running around here trying to scare our people. And then women, these fruit loop black women that I see doing these TikTok videos, screaming and hollering and carrying on, saying that you want black men murdered and you want everybody to get hurt and you hope everybody die and you hope everybody go to hell and you want everybody to just fall down on their knees and cry with you, right? Well, you know what you folks can do, all of you Fruit Loops and you LGBTQ people and you black women that simping out here for Kamala, you all can go to hell. That's what I say to all of you. Go to hell. Stop trying to scare our people. Leave our people alone. This is all about the black American cause. We're not trying to have you coming in here trying to mess up anything we're trying to do. Get out of here with this evil that you're trying to perpetrate upon our people. We don't want to hear it. Get out of here with this mess. Get off those TikTok.
No, Lord.
Rebuke the devil. I tell you right now, I'm rebuking you. Get out of here. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see you on these TikTok videos anymore. I saw some video last night of some crazy black woman screaming and shit, just crying. But get out of here with this stuff, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all, this stuff is just insane. Like, y'all get a grip. Get a grip on reality. Okay? And I'm going to land right there.
Hey, all facts on that.
All right, guys, we still having some difficulties, some technical issues. I'm still having some issues getting in and out the space, and it keeps freezing up on me. So let me you see if I can try to get back in best I can because it keeps freezing up on me.
You ain't stinking, you know what I mean? When you gotta go to court. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Okay, yeah, because I keep freezing up in this. I don't know why, but I keep freezing up. So, like I say, if I do freeze up, just go ahead. Like I say, Professor, y'all watch the language as well too. I can't really talk, but I can hear stuff. But y'all watch the language, trying to keep this thing on YouTube. Got a stream, but Moku, you were next. Go ahead and like I said, if I fall back, then just go ahead and keep going on because I don't know what's up tonight, but I keep it keeps like putting me in the matrix. But go ahead, Moku and DJ.
Yeah, what's going on, man? You're starting to see a lot of crashing out. Yeah, from a lot of sexually confused stuff.
Hey, Moco, your phone acting up already too. Janky gang.
Golly, I can hear everybody clear. It's crazy.
Could be me too, but go ahead, though.
Yeah, you know, you are known for having a janky phone. But every little thing that Trump gets on stage and says, you can look at it. You can look forward to a bunch of rhetoric coming from the fear mongers and everybody else. You know, every little thing that goes wrong. See, I told you that this is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. I don't actually see anything. Girls ain't doing nothing for us. Everybody always screaming, well, we gotta have more education when you're talking about reparations in a system that's designed to give you a flawed education. That don't make sense. So you want a flawed education part of your repair. That's stupid. That's absolutely backwards. You know, to get rid of this, to dismantle the system of racism, white supremacy, guess what? You're gonna have to get rid of it. You're gonna have to get rid of it. So yeah, I expect to hear and see people crying about it. Oh, this is gonna take us back to slavery. How the hell? I just be so confused when people say that. Like it's gonna take us back to slavery. Like slavery stopped. Like what are we looking at? We are still slaves right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, how many times have you heard that this week, though? I heard it at least 4 or 5 times. Go ahead, though.
Man, I heard it about 100. You know what I'm saying? And I hear it from people, all walks of people, but more so, I hear it from people that are, and this is just my observation, they're time wasters. They time wasters. They bringing up stuff that don't have nothing to do with the topic, and they always instigating or insinuating an argument with somebody else that has nothing to do with the topic. So I think now that we're getting more codified, we're starting to see a lot more tactics of white supremacy come out in the open. They're sending a lot more ops our way. They're sending ops that looks like us. They're even sending ops that don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? That are cosplaying like us. You know. So for the FBA women that's not falling for this crap, because I ain't seen no. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't seen no FBA video, no FBA female talking about killing black men for either voting for Trump, not voting at all, or voting for the cowards. Still not going to change my answer when you ask me who I voted for. I voted for Camilla not to win. There you go. So, do what you do and feel how you feel.
But this is this is what looking like. This is what gaining or creating a system of justice. This is what the beginning of it looks like. Yeah, you know, you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna be kicking and screaming because they used to the harm. They're addicted to the harm. They're addicted to being abused. They want to get spanked. You know what I'm saying? They look for that like a treat every day. I ain't into no BDSM, you know, and a lot of us victims are, but I'm not one of them. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I'll land there. I had no problem with what I heard Trump saying. It did not sound like no reparations for white people. I think Don Lemon got a lot of wax in his ears.
All right, appreciate
No slow mo.
appreciate that, Moku. Blue Bud. You at the bottom of the screen. I know. I sent you an invite to speak because I know you're leaving comments in the comment section. So feel free to come on up here. I know you're a lifelong Democrat, and you sitting up here, you're saying we're defending Trump. So I would love to get your opinion on it. Don't just post comments. Come on up here and speak because we would love to hear what you got to say. It's funny how everybody is sitting up here and they just defending Trump and this and that or whatever. And y'all sit up here and defended Joe Biden for the longest. For the longest, no matter what Joe Biden said about black people, y'all always found an excuse and a reason to go right along with it because you felt that, hey, we have a serious thing where we have to live vicariously through other people. You're like, well, you know, I can't get in the White House, but maybe somebody that looks like me or somebody that come from my neighborhood or somebody that may have even a little bit of an ideology can sit up in the White House. So please tell us how this man who's been part of some of the most destructive legislation in the history of this country when it comes to black people, look no further than the 94 crime bill. Y'all don't have that same energy for him. This man said all kind of repugnant things about Trump. One thing about Joe Biden that they loved about Joe Biden, especially when he was a younger man, he's one of them white boys they felt would say what he felt. He didn't have any filter to him. So please get on up here and explain to us exactly what's so great because I didn't vote for either one of them. I didn't vote for Kamala, and I did not vote for Donald Trump, even though I did vote in the actual election. I didn't vote for either one. So please come on up here because I know you, like I said, I know you love to leave the little comments, even comments that when I post articles and stuff like that. Because if it doesn't have a Democrat type theme to it, then it's just nonsense and it's just foolishness. So tell us exactly how Kamala Harris is going to come here and she was going to save all the little colored folks in this country because that's what y'all making it seem like that this goddess, because she lost, now all of humanity is lost for her. So please explain that to us. You know, I want to hear what black people are going to say about pushing a black agenda during the actual Trump during the Trump's presidency as well too. You know, I don't think it depends on whether it's a Democrat or it's a Republican in there. Yeah. If you sitting up here, if he had the nerve to sit up here and talk about his platinum plan or whatever, then make him come out with another one. Ask him like, what are you gonna do here? You know, see what he's gonna do. The worst he can say is no. Democrats have been saying no for the longest. I mean, and black people haven't got upset with them, hadn't got pissed off with them either. So, you know, let us know exactly what they're gonna do. Come on up here and explain it to us, okay? Go ahead, Moku, you got it. You got it, Moku.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what I was saying, what I said last time. It's funny how, you know, I never said I voted for Trump either, and I hear that too, Toda, a lot. When we don't never say who we voted for, but just because we say that we're against Kamala, they just everybody automatically assume that a black man voted for Trump. You know what I mean? You stated that too, because that's something that we need to get out of the lexicon too. Just because a black man say he ain't want Kamala in office, don't automatically mean, oh, he a Trumpster. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for clearing that up too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no problem. It took me a little minute to come out of the off the mute button as well too. Like I say, this thing is just running slow tonight, so I don't know. But let me give a shout out. I see some of our people in here. Shout out to Black. Shout out to you, Shannon. I see you as well. Nita, Mr. Finn, Christian, Amplify, Melissa. I see my girl Rewrite as well too. Goddess, Ray. Like I said, whenever you get a chance to come on up here, Blue Bud, come on up here. Melissa, I see you gave me the thumbs down. So if you have something to say as well, you can come up here too. Get the microphone. We don't discriminate. Anybody wants to come up here and speak your truth. Say what you want to. We will give you time. Ain't nobody gonna cut you off. Say what you got to say or whatever. I don't care. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So come on up here and let's hear what you got to say as well too. I think a lot of people with the Trump thing, I think sometimes people hear what they want to hear. I mean, all hell will break loose. And let's say that Trump did decide tomorrow that, you know what, the first thing I do when I get in office, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give all the good white folks who were discriminated, I'm going to give them reparations. Well, man, then you might as well just get the National Guard out, because you're going to have people that just going to absolutely go berserk and just lose their mind if that was to happen. That, hey, the people that have the most, the people that have everything, the people that control everything, they're going to get reparations. And everybody else who's beneath them, they're not going to get anything, in particular black people. Yeah, I don't think that would sit too well with the vast majority of people in this country, to be honest. Go ahead, DJ, you got it.
Yeah, shout out to the room. Make sure y'all share the room out. Obama gave white people reparations, and he did it in multiple ways. You know what I'm saying? It made them $100 trillion richer than what they were already billionaires. See that? So if black people, specifically the black sisters, because y'all the most upset, y'all emotional. So emotional, Carl Thomas. Y'all want to be upset at someone? Be upset at Obama. You know what I mean? Because the vast majority of us voted for him, and he actually did give white folks quantitative easing when the recession was going on. He bailed out Wall Street, which Main Street have yet to get bailed out, and we've been in multiple recessions since then. The recession, hurricanes, storms, COVID added up. You know what I mean? And get one bailout and that stimulus don't count. That's money that should be coming back to us every year. $1,200, $2,000. That should be coming back every year when you really think about it. You know what I mean? And Don Lemon, he part of the DNC shield. Well, he trying to find his way back into the good graces of the DNC, because CNN, Klan News Network, fired him. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't really say what he wanted to say against Vivek Salami, aka Ramaswamy. Get that Indian knock about your camp, Trump. You know what I'm saying? Send him back to the shadow realm of Mumbai, where he come from. And man, Kamala, send them all back. Obama, yeah, you weren't born in America. Send them all back, B. You know what I'm saying? We don't care. And yeah, I'll be the first one to tell you I voted for MAGA-LAGA, because guess what? Get these tethers the F up out of here, bro. Get them up out of here, B. I don't think we really understand, son. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Get them up out of here. You know what I mean? And if, again, like I said in the last space, in this space, if it got to do with anything as far as like Trump going against us, which he didn't last time, he ain't writing no legislation against us. You know what I mean? So if that were to come to fruition, well, just get your money ready to start filing civil suits. Start filing class action lawsuits. Stop wasting our money on silly stuff. You know what I mean? Let's come together and really make this stuff happen. Shout out to Black State Majority.
Hey, real quick, DJ, Obama was actually, say what you want to, he actually was actually supposed to be born in Hawaii, so he was actually born on American soil.
For the space, allegedly. You get the book allegedly from online. There you go.
Okay. Allegedly. Here's my thing I want to know too, is some of our black Republicans, we got a number of black Republicans that come up in the space as well too. So I want to know exactly what in terms of the actual Trump presidency, what do they expect from Trump in terms of helping or creating anything for black Americans in this country? Are they just pretty much going to be content with the immigration thing, or do they actually have any anything they expect from Trump in return? That's what I want to know, because I know a lot of them come up into space and stuff. We got a number of our people from Chicago and the Midwest and those areas out there that they were doing their best to try to turn Chicago red. But I want to know exactly, are they looking to secure anything from this president right here, or are they just pretty much content saying, you know what, get as many illegals as you can out of the actual country, and we'll just call that a win? So it would be interesting to hear from some of our Republican brothers and sisters that come up into space a lot of times. And I know they were dead set, against the Democrats, which I don't fault them for that, because Democrats in 50 some odd, almost 60 years, really hadn't done a whole lot as well too. But I'd like to hear, do they have any expectations for the Trump presidency besides just immigration? Is it going to be pretty much just all, let's get the illegals up out of here, and then it'll pretty much be a trickle down effect that it'll just go and help everybody else as well too? So I'm interested. If we got any black Democrats, if we got any black conservatives, if we got, if you could be an independent or whatever, I mean, it don't matter if you're a Democrat. If you got something that you feel worthwhile talking about with the Trump presidency and how it's going to impact black people, besides just immigration, because with Trump being president, I don't want our people to tone down the actual reparation movement as well too. I want us to keep it, to ratchet it up or whatever. Make Trump and his people say, hey, you know what, that's a pipe dream. We ain't gonna never give it or whatever, because we know how they feel. We know how most conservatives in this country feel about reparations anyways, and it's to be honest, it's most white people, period, and the actual so-called quote unquote minorities as well too. Now, I know a lot of them have an issue with reparations, but if Trump was to go ahead and do what he was talking about and put it into actual literal terms, say, you know what, I would give white folks this and white folks that for being discriminated against in these colleges, whatever, a lot of the same white people that have an issue with reparations would be championing it for that same point. Well, he does make sense. And, this does impact us right now. We're not talking about 6-7 generations ago. So that would be the main thing that they'd be hollering about as well, too. But I want to hear what black people got to say. Like, what Cube, Ice Cube, he went, he caught a lot of flack for saying that, hey, he wanted to work with Trump or whatever. He also tried to extend the same olive branch to the Democrats. That was shot down. He was told after the election. I guess after the election, they never heard anything back. But now that we got this man getting ready to come into office, he's setting up his cabinet. He's got people, people such as Marco Rubio here in Florida and other people as well, too. He's adding to his cabinet as well, too. So I want to know exactly, how do black people go about pressing him? You got Elon Musk. We know Elon Musk's views and stuff on black people. We see the amount of lawsuits that Tesla is getting hit with as well too out there in California. So I want to know exactly what's what. What exactly do black people, are we gonna tone down the reparations talk, or are we gonna go ahead and increase it just as much and show, hey, it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat in office, if it's a Republican in office, it doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump for the second time. It's great and it's good that you're talking about doing this and doing that to go ahead and stop the actual flow of illegal migrants coming to the country. But exactly besides that, what are you going to do? Because I know a number of black people love to talk about the amount of money that Joe Biden put into the HBCUs, and that's pretty much the main talking point they mentioned as well too. So I want to know exactly, when it comes to Trump as well too, are we going to still have the same energy for Trump as well? Because we need to. We don't need to tone anything down. We need to see exactly what Trump's talking about, see the kind of political games that both the red and the blue play. Because in his platinum plan or whatever it was as well too, I believe as soon as he started talking about black people, he started mixing in people of color and minorities and all this other stuff. So you got to understand that this thing here, regardless of whatever political party these people are tied to, it's still at the end of the day the same talking points. He's like, hey, you know what? We can't just give them all this or that, whatever. Let's water it down so they don't get too big and they don't need us anymore. So that's the whole thing that I'm talking about. DJ, what do you feel? You think that we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna push, or things gonna tone down? You think that black people, the only thing that we should expect from Trump is to go ahead and crack down on these illegals coming in, or should we expect more? Should we want more? I know people say, well, you know what? We don't vote for the Republican Party in large numbers, so we shouldn't expect to get too much anything from them, because how many people, if we look at the actual numbers, the vast majority of black people, and I know people say black men and black women or whatever, but the vast majority of black people, and we said it before, we're still going to vote for Kamala Harris, and they still voted for Kamala Harris. Now, yeah, the percentage that didn't, the black men and some black women, it played a part in the election too. Don't let anybody tell you anything other. And not only that, the amount of black people who actually heard other black people talking about not voting for Kamala Harris and say, you know what, I can't vote for Trump. I'm not going to vote for Kamala, so I'm just going to sit home. That played a part in it as well, too. It's not just everything that showed up on the ballot box and that was counted and tallied as a vote. People don't understand it. It's a significant amount of black people that did not want to go out and participate in this election because they didn't like either candidate, and that kind of gets swept under the rug. It's like, well, still 80-some-odd% of black men still vote, but yeah, how many black men did not go out there and vote because they didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris? How many black men did not go out there and vote because they didn't want to vote for Donald Trump? How many black women? How many, didn't want to vote for either one? So that gets lost in the sauce as well. Two people say, well, they only go on by what was tallied up and stuff like that. Like, no, when people say that people actually voted for the couch this year, they weren't lying. The actual amount, and that's another thing that did her in. You didn't have the amount of people coming out in this election as you had in the last election. So that's something else that did her in as well, too. Go ahead, DJ. You got it.
Yeah, so just to backtrack and reiterate something, too. The reason why we're going with the stereotype trope of Obama wasn't born in Hawaii, he ain't American, is because that's the way we should be doing it. Because he really crapped on us and didn't do anything for us, and we made sure he stayed in office technically for the full 8 years he was in office. And he had control of the House and the Senate a little bit and didn't do anything for black people, the same exact people that put him in office. So I'm rolling with the Michelle is a man, you Michael now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sticking up for them anymore. That's over with. Neither should any of us at this point, because look what he keep doing. He keep wagging his finger at us like we some dog. Come on, Pookie Ray Ray, get your butt to the pole. Come on, Keisha and Boom Quisha, make sure you get your booties to the pole. You know what I mean? Hey, guess what? Them kids of his, they ain't his kids. They belong to somebody else. That's what they be. That's what the white folks be saying. I'm gonna start using the same stereotype trope because that's what he do to us. Think about it. Pull yourself up out of bootstraps, Newstoter. You can't. What you need help for, B? You know what I'm saying? Why you always complaining about what white folks got? Pull yourself up. That's what he be saying to us. So it's like, something? I'm gonna start doing the same thing. Now, again, as far as what Don Lemon said, this is not even a conversation about reparations, but you need people like Don Lemon, who's a part of the Boule Masonry. This is what Trump is actually trying to go against, this so-called woke, and I use that with my fingers up, hyphenated. You know what I'm saying? Because the definition of woke to black people, Negroes, meaning to be aware of white people. Stay woke, fam. Yo, when you mean original, we young, and black state is our father. You know what I'm saying? Hey, kids, when y'all go outside to the penny candy store, make sure you stay woke. We know what that means. Make sure we don't leave each other. We got each other's back, and watch out for the cracking knackers, B. I don't know what white folks assume the word or woke means other than to be awake. You know what I'm saying? Woke means using your third eye optical to be aware of all your sensory peripheral and your vision of your surroundings, man. So he can sit up here and say, we're pushing against the woke, but guess what, Trump? I could sue you just for even making it seem like it's something black, because you will have to prove that all this stuff is propaganda, not woke. You know what I'm saying? See, we let these folks take our terminology, slang, our American vernacular English, Negro vernacular English, because we ain't calling it African no more. That's over with too. You know what I'm saying? They taking our Negro Freeman vernacular English and switching it on us. We ain't trying to gatekeep and let these folks know, oh, hell no, don't say that and mean it as this. Don't tell someone else that and you didn't have understanding of that. Same thing with the reparations that you got the way. And this is something that really pissed me off with the crackerknackers. Why y'all always running around saying that reparations ain't coming out of my taxes? I'm not paying for it. Well, who asked you to? And who gave you the notion or the idea that reparations was even coming out of your taxes? But when we talk about Israel and Ukraine, well, that's coming out of all our taxes. And why do y'all assume that black people don't pay taxes? White people are the main ones that don't pay taxes. We know this already. You know what I mean? You're the main welfare proponents, and you're the main criminals. You're the main people that's out here raping, pillaging, harming, doing everything up under the sun. And we don't want to hear anything about per capita because y'all the majority. And that's allegedly too, because we don't think y'all the majority. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So with that being said, hey, ain't nothing to fear, fam. Go get your tax ID. That's all you gotta do. Go get your tax ID, B. You know what I'm saying? And start, you know, you've been out of work for a minute, hey, go back to work. You know what I'm saying? Start making this money again. When they say Trump ain't about to do nothing for nobody, or even us as black folks, well, he already started doing something. Especially if you drive a vehicle. Have y'all been paying attention to the gas prices in your neighborhood? Yeah, I just noticed that it dropped to $2.79, like about a day after the election was over with. So, you know, we always be talking about this stuff with, you know, our Black State numbers, and we're wrecking this information every Friday night. You know what I mean? Make sure you follow Black State. We live every Friday at 1 in the afternoon. So, hey, you know, Republicans own most of the businesses. They probably own most of the shell corporations as far as the gas subsidiaries go, you know, over here in America. And most of the gas stations like Luke Oil or U.S. Gas or Texaco and Mobil and all this other stuff. Yeah, you got the white folks that own most of the franchise gas stations. So at the end of the day, a barrel of oil just got dropped back down to $100 at this point. You feel what I'm saying? And Trump ain't even taken office yet, B. Now, don't act like y'all wasn't affected from the gas prices, yo. If you drive, deliver, got a truck, look how many of our black people had to lose their trucking bids and had to park their rig truck. It costs money to find a place. You have to go find a place to park your Peterbilt. You feel what I'm saying? Your Mack truck. That might run you $300, $400, $500 a month. You don't got that extra money. So you can sit up here maybe blame the Republicans for that because they ain't want nothing resourceful coming to the Democrat administration. They playing the same coin. You feel what I'm saying? It's two-headed monster. You add the whack news media in there, aka the Klan News Network. It's a hydra at this point. You know what I mean? Three-headed monster. So why don't we take these same entities and just remix it into our own? Because that's what we do. We the original bootleggers. You know what I'm saying? We bootlegging all this stuff, and we the innovators and the creators at the same time. So this is why these white folks just sit around, wait for us to do something, and just come and take it. So when Trump talking about, Don Lemon back to him, because he really the focus. It ain't Trump, it's Don Lemon saying this, you know what I mean? That he giving white folks reparations by way of some legislative law to say he's not going to give schools or certain organizations, endowment fund or federal funds or whatever. If we over here talking about, DEI and critical race theory and reparations, come on, bro. It's like, stop already, man. I ain't got no law degree, but all I got to do is just look this stuff up. That's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit, B. See, we don't want to do that. And the same thing Moko said, all these jokers are really time wasters, Don Lemon, you know what I mean? So, and this is why I asked, hey, how many times have you heard, hey, you ready to go pick cotton, brother Moko? All back on to the farm, picking cotton, you know what I'm saying, all day long. It's hot out here, folks. It's hot out here. We need some waters, you know what I'm saying? You pick cotton between 2016 and 2020? You was a dumb napper, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't pick any cotton. I was getting money, you know what I'm saying? Under Trump, and I didn't vote for him then, so it is what it is. I voted for Killer, who was around here killing people, you know what I'm saying? And that's allegedly, and I'll yield there, man.
All right. Yeah, I think R. Bailey, he had a good comment. R. Bailey was saying that that a lot of people, I guess a lot of the people of color, they're gonna get there for a rude awakening with white supremacy when once Trump pretty much gets set up in power the way he needs to, pretty much gonna have everything at his disposal. That a lot of the people that like to claim that, hey, that everything in the sun and this and that or whatever and yada yada yada, that they're gonna have some serious issues with this with this president up in the White House as well too. It's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. I want to know exactly with the Department of Justice and stuff like that, how he's talking about trying to get them to do this and do that or whatever, in terms of, basically saying that people are being discriminated against. We know it's going to mainly be white people that's going to be saying, you know what, we're being discriminated against with affirmative action. Affirmative action we know is really nothing. And you're going to have probably a number of Asians as well too that's going to sit up here and say that as well too. A black majority state. Go ahead. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Newstoter, man, good evening, good evening. I was in that space, I was in your space when it started, but because I hit the road, I couldn't hear for like the first 30 minutes until I got stopped, so I missed a lot. I did see that clip, and, the first thing that I quoted it was, yeah, in fact, this is giving white people reparations, and I'll tell you why. I was in another space that really got weird when this same black Republican who was in the first Trump administration popped up on stage, and we had a back and forth in the tweets, and then I came back up to ask him, point blank about his stance on reparations. Well, as it turns out, he admitted that he had no plans to implement or push for reparations in this current administration. He didn't do it in the first one. He has no plans to do it in this one. So if reparations isn't the main thing, the only thing, and the absolute necessary thing, and people are going to allow themselves to be drifted off into these other issues, then what did we actually accomplish? Because for me, you got to hold everybody accountable. Trump's a demon the same way Biden's a demon. They're all demons. And so for me, I don't see what there is to really celebrate. But in that conversation, this black Republican mentioned the filibuster as the reason why reparations couldn't get through. And in fact, that's a fallacy, and I think it's intentionally deceptive, because if this person is in the highest levels of government, I believe he says that he was and that he is, then he would know about cloture, which is a process where they can eliminate the filibuster. It only takes 16 senators to do that. And then he would know about budget reconciliation, which is where it eliminates the filibuster when it's a budget bill. And so this is very important, because in that clip, Trump says budget reconciliation when he's specifically talking about that issue where he's going to empower white people to be able to sue for reverse racism. And I don't know why people feel, it almost seems like what I'm noticing is people feel they have to defend this person. They have to defend the things that he's saying. And I saw that before the election, but now it's even more odd to me, because he says what he says. It's very plain and it's very clear. And if there's some reason that people don't understand it, then they should probably take the time to do the research to understand each thing that he's saying as he's saying it, the way that he's saying it, because the words he's using are very important. He is talking about giving white people reparations. He is talking about setting up a system where they can sue for racism whenever they feel that they're being discriminated against. But he's not talking about setting up any type of system where Black Americans, specifically lineage descendants, will also be able to utilize that system, because the reality is this: you can file as many lawsuits as you want. You're going in front of the same system that incarcerates us heavily, that provides a system of injustice at every opportunity that they get, including the Tulsa, Oklahoma survivors. So it is kind of bewildering to me and somewhat confusing why people feel the need to defend this demon, because he's on the Republican side. He represents the red side of politics. I'm having a come to reality moment over the last few months of how we are really, 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 really not ready to take full responsibility for ourselves, to go up against this system regardless of what side of politics they represent, and to really put ourselves in the position where we are actually making these decisions for ourselves, and we can hold everybody accountable, because at the end of the day, that's really the only thing that really, really matters. And if it's not reparations, then what is it really? And let me shout out to Miss Cornell, Yvette, who was able to get herself in a position where she can advocate directly to the Democrat Party. And that likely came out of this election. So that may be the unintended consequence of it. I think at this point, regardless of what side Black Americans are on, if they have the ability to get in the room, to have a conversation with the people who are in power, and that's both Democrats and Republicans, then reparations should be the center of the conversation so that we are leveraging them against each other so that we get to the reparations. And then, what people are going to do after that is really on them. I suggest that we migrate, and I suggest that we get the state power. But I know everybody doesn't really understand what that's about and how important it is. And so it may be a small percentage of us, but in this situation, yes, in fact, Trump is trying to set up a system in order to give these people reparations. And I'll land with that.
All right, you mentioned Yvette. Now, I heard something the other day. They was talking about that she was going to be somebody trying to strategize with the Democrats. But I saw the video. I didn't actually see. I never heard her say that. So, I mean, I know people saying that, but I mean, does anybody know anything about that?
Say that again, Tom?
I saw the other day. Somebody posted a video. They were saying that Yvette was supposed to be helping the Democrats with their strategy or something like that. When I looked at the video, I never heard her say that. I never heard her say, you know what, I'm going to be helping the Democrats strategize, or I'm going to be helping them with their strategy politically, anything like that. So I was just trying to figure out, did anybody hear anything about that?
I'm gonna say not personally in that sense of the way you question it, but a lot of folks have resurfaced the ADOS movement at this point because she was just recently on television giving an interview post-election, speaking on things, reparations or whatever. But I think that shit has been settled too, as far as the whole ADOS movement. You know what I'm saying? Day one ADOS NACA, and the Democratic down ballot strategy might have worked. They maybe want to adapt it to it at the time when we were trying to do it and teach people about it. But, there's a lot of things that Yvette herself don't advocate for in the Black community. Example, some of our Black candidates like Marcel, when she told him, I don't got to do anything for him. When someone asked, can you bring Marcel on your show, Breaking Ground, for an interview? And then there's obviously a whole lot of other sort of things. Like I said, Tariq, you know what I'm saying? Him and Tone Talks, they going back and forth. Tariq was right, you know what I mean? Hey, we should advocate to the GOP as well, to see what type of tangibles we could get from them. Now, keep in mind, Black State, everything is now reparations. This is the problem with me and reparations right now. Everyone's calling everything that's intangible or some type of benefit, keyword, reparations. And it throws a monkey wrench in the game of our actual reparations movement of what we should be doing. So by Don Lemon saying, he's giving white folks reparations, no, he's just giving them benefits. It's not the same, you know what I mean? Trump is not indebted, you know what I'm saying, to white folks in that type of sense for him to be paying them any type of monetary compensation. Now, what we've been always saying, hey, one, go get your tax ID because stuff is about to. And we already saw from the last time, Trump gave people what a lot of your friends that got businesses said when Trump was in office. Well, I benefited from that. Yeah, because they got a business, they got a tax ID. So why aren't we doing the same thing? And then the other thing is too, why aren't we writing legislative laws that make stuff benefit for us? And yes, we understand we're in a system of white supremacy, but at the end of the day, you still got to get up, go to work, go to school, open up shop. It ain't gonna stop. So it's like, yeah, get your money ready because we about to be suing, fighting, whatever it is we got to do to make it happen. Go ahead though.
You got it, Black.
Okay, so I found her tweet. Now, ironically, because I'm blocked, normally I wouldn't be able to see this, but now that everything has changed on the platform, you can see people who have blocked. So you're right. She's saying, because someone said she's working directly with the Democrat Party. That's essentially what I remember. She's saying that just because you see me on TV, I'm not working with anybody. And let me say this. Now, I personally think that that's a problem. I really, I mean, I gotta be honest, man. I'm gonna just be full-flooded honest here. We need people working on both sides, and we shouldn't have people who are pushed off of that position or that lane because of a post on a social media apparatus. It really should be, and I hope that if she is making those lanes, that she sticks with it, and she gets to the point where she can actually put that on the table and make it a part of an agenda at the federal level and wherever states where Democrats or have a large black population that they're trying to get elected in. I don't believe that we should be the ping pong bouncing back and forth in this federal presidential election and thinking that that's ultimately going to be the thing that solves all of our issues, because it's not. And so I'm going to say, I really pray that leads to further conversations with the Democrat Party. And then I'm also going to say that whoever was involved in this Republican red wave, like the brother Orlando Owens up in Wisconsin, that leads to further conversations within the Republican Party, and reparations is the center of those conversations. I really feel like, I get it. There was beef. There was all these problems back and forth. People came on the app. They're messy, yada, 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 whatever. In real life, whatever. I get it. I got it. But if you can parse through the information that they're putting out, and you can see that ultimately they end up in a position where black Americans get to reparations, and that's their advocacy and that's their base, then I support it wholeheartedly. And I think that those who have an open enough mind to support people, even if you don't like them, because there's plenty of people out here that I do not personally like, but if they get to it, they get to it. I'm not going to celebrate them. I'm going to celebrate the fact that they got to it and that it got on the table. And I really hope that people start to see life in that way, and not just that this is a personality that I don't like, and so whatever they do, I'm going to be totally against it. Especially if what they're doing ultimately gets reparations.
All right. Appreciate that, Black. Thank you. And you feel, Black, that you said that you feel that Trump, he's trying to set this thing up where white people will actually get reparations based off of the colleges and everything like that?
Yeah. So if I remember the clip again, budget reconciliation, which is a Senate. It's a Senate tool so that a filibuster can't even happen. In other words, they go back into their offices. Yeah, they say this is a part of the budget. We're going to do budget reconciliation, and then no one can stop it. They've got 60, and they need 60 seats in order to pass a bill. And actually, matter of fact, they need a simple majority, so they really only need 51 to pass a budget. And that's how Biden was able to get through like a $1.5 trillion COVID package, because they had enough votes and a simple majority to get it through with budget reconciliation. So when he's using a term like that, and he's talking about setting up a system so that they have people they can go to file lawsuits, and I think he said he's even going to help them file these lawsuits, which is really crazy, then yeah, that is a system that he's putting in place for reverse racism against white people. And that is reparations as far as I can tell.
All right. Thank you, Black. Let me go ahead and get to Rella. Rella, what's going on with you tonight?
Hey, Newstoter. Hey, Professor.
Hey, what's up, Rella?
Hey, DJ, and shout out to the space. Hey, original. Hey, Professor, Brother Moo, and shout out to the space. Is Trump giving white people reparations? there's going to be, and I think, Black Majority pointed to this, there is definitely going to be a lot of hit dog holler moments. And I also believe that there's going to also be, coming to a correction. You'll have people who supported the Democratic Party, or even not even just the Democratic Party, even the Independent and all these other parties that are going to, hopefully learn a lesson of what it means to actually get into, I think, state authority. Also, with having the backing of having a presidential candidate that actually will push and sign legislation on the behalf of your party's agenda for the American people who will vote you in. There's a lot of learning lessons and a lot of hopefully we are not truly escaped too bad in the conversation of this coming presidential seat, vice president seat, but my eye is on the House and the Senate. And the reason why I say that is because what Black Majority State brought up in regards to the reconciliation budget, which is a congressional budget that it is for the expedition or expounding on changes of pushing pretty much money and legislation through the Senate. So let's say, I know people were saying that the House, and I think I also thought that they had gotten the House, but I don't remember if they called it when I went back to try to look. I know midterms are coming up, so I don't know if that's going to throw a monkey wrench, if I can use that term, into what will look like in 2 years when it's time for midterms. The problem is, again, I keep saying, you still have a presidential candidate or a presidency. Biden is, I don't know where he is, mentally gone. But you still have the Democrats that are here until January. I want to say the 20th is when they hand over the transition in January. And then the Republicans take over January 21st and then move on throughout the year. What is that going to look like for us? And I'm not wanting this autonomy of not having some white guilt, because that seems to be the culture on social media, is that they're trying to avoid some sort of white guilt, which is why you keep hearing them, all of a sudden talk about DEI and CRT and all these other things, which is, to me, a distraction. And I think what Trump is doing in even having this conversation and bringing up restitution for the budget reconciliation, it does open the door for us now to challenge him as Republicans, because I've said this before. Republicans are just as equally responsible for our condition. And somehow we keep trying to make this, it's a party conversation on which party or other that we majority vote. But you have people who have been in the Republican Party who have had the majority office before. This is not new. And they have not done anything different. And if right now all they're trying to do is save face and put money in their pockets, it's no different than what they did in the last Trump administration. And people don't want to actually, have the real hard conversations. They only want to land on, it's a two-party bird saying wing. Yeah, we know all that, but we need to look at what the impact is on an everyday level. If the Republican Party has position now, right, and they are responsible for what happens to the American people, we are part of that group, that nation. So then if our conditions don't change and then we're not getting anything out of this situation, then of course shame on us, but shame on them as well, because they are literally campaigning. He had black people on stage. He did all he wanted to do to make sure he talked about how the Democratic Party ignored black Americans and that he was going to do X, Y, and Z. Well, hold the feet to the fire. I don't care about you talking about white folks. They be talking about white folks since the day dawn is time. And we got new white folks trying to, vie for government contracts, i.e. Elon Musk. There's a reason why he needed a Trump administration and a House and Senate, because he needs contracts. And contract money is what builds companies. So he's going to need that budget money, federal money, to come his way. And that's going to be a big deal. So for us, we need to make sure that we're in alignment to also get those fundings, and we're also getting those particular types of monies as well. And I do agree, we should have people talking to both or all parties, period, and centering restitution and indemnification on our behalf. It should not be at this moment in time that we care about anything else. And also, of course, definitely Black majority states, and getting us some authority and power. Because I posted a video where you saw, you see 3 Supreme judges having a conversation with a man who wanted to, I guess he was an attorney, fighting for not just abortion rights, but, making sure that they cover some other issues where it sounded really pedophilia to me. So when you look at stuff like that, you can see there's power in having a majority in judges being appointed, making sure that you have an attorney general, you have a governor, along with state legislation and federal legislation. I mean, at this point, if you are sitting on this app, I think arguing about ADOS and the interview Yvette Carnell did, and as it pertains to acronyms, we should be past that. I think we should be well past that. And we should be moving on to now getting ourselves into position to have some authority and fight for our autonomy here in America, because immigrants are not just Latinos. They are immigrant whites who have come in, and they are casting and solidifying themselves within this administration for protection. So I landed there.
All right. Thank you, Rella. We're not going to keep the space going too much longer. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, just to quote Yvette Carnell, Black state majority, Black people can't be racist. We don't have the means to be. Yo.
Okay. Appreciate it. Let me see. Is there anybody else up here that wants to speak? Anybody that wants to speak? Shout out. I see Trouble down there, Mia down there, as well as Ray Goddess. Go ahead, Black majority state. You got it.
Okay, Ms. Rilla touched on something that's actually really, really super intelligent. Because the fact that he is saying budget reconciliation in terms of these policies that are going to essentially create the system, it should be a signal to us that not only does he understand that, he's got RFK somewhere floating around in his administration, whatever that's going to be, who actually was at the grassroots talking about lineage reparations, who understands that. And again, the conversation from these Black Republicans needs to connect those 2 dots so that they understand that, oh, by the way, we can use budget reconciliation to actually facilitate reparations to Black American lineage descendants. So it is something that if he uses for them, then it would be very hypocritical for him not to use it for us in the same way. As he stated, we built the country, right? So that's where the pressure needs to come on. It shouldn't be you got these new Black gatekeepers, Black Republican gatekeepers. Now everybody got to bow down to them and kiss their ass. Excuse me, pardon my French, but that's something that I'm never going to do personally. And I'm a little worried because I'm starting to sense that that's where people want to go with it. It should be pressure, 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 pressure till the last breath, if that's what this movement is really about.
All right. Thank you, Black. Shout out to Nightfall on the Stream X. I see you guys over there on the YouTube as well too. I think who it was one of somebody was I had a post I put out there a couple of days ago. It was about Jesus, what was it? It was talking about that Barack Obama did the anti-racism that I guess was it racism from the Obama era that stopped Kamala Harris from becoming president. And a lot of people gave their opinion on that. Yeah. Well, some people a lot of people said, well, no, it didn't have anything to do with it whatsoever. But I can't remember who it was. They was telling me that now that Trump is president, that now we're going to see an end to all of the anti-black policies or laws or something like that. That this is the best thing to happen, and I'm like, well, I gotta actually see this. I gotta see this with my own two eyes. I don't believe either political party is going to put an end to the anti black policies and laws that you have in this country. I get what people are saying that through the immigration that reform that it'll be some kind of trickle down benefit to black people, but just saying that and I'm gonna see if I can find that actual article that I posted a couple days ago, and it got a few replies, but in particular I cannot think who it was that put that in there. And I'm like, well, I'm like, well, no, I just have to wait and see this. I don't believe that with Trump coming into the White House, that all the anti-black policies and all this kind of stuff in this country is just gonna evaporate. So if it happens, I'll be more than happy to eat crow, and I'll be happy. But and let's also be real, on the books, on paper, they actually don't have anti-black laws anymore in this country. They're smart enough to take that stuff off of the actual paper and stuff. So it still happens, but at least they can say, well, it's not on paper, so there's really no racism. You hear crap like that going all the time. I see we got my girl Mel up here, so let me go ahead and let Mel get to it. Mel, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. Trusted news from a trusted source. Newstoter.com, $Newstoter. I'm doing real well. Shout out for the space. So last time I was up here, Toter, and I mentioned Darren, and you kind of went into a little tangent. But so here's the thing with this. Yeah, and Trump, I think Trump is setting it up to give reparations, and guess what? He's doing it real cute. He's doing it real cute because this thing he plans on doing with the Board of Education and getting rid of all that. So with the HBCUs, we know that immigrants have been, they've been enrolled in these HBCUs. Damn near in some of these HBCUs, it's more of them in the population than there are Black Americans. More of them in the population of the school than there are even white Americans. So when Trump goes ahead and cuts out this Board of Education, the immigrants that are coming over here that got money, that are getting all these subsidies and whatnot, they're going to be able to continue to go through to these HBCUs. Where's that going to put the Black American at, though? Because if you're going to cut this, cut that, cut this, cut that, and there's some tweets running around here now that say that the Board of Education in D.C. Also handles the Pell Grants and things of that nature. So where's that going to put the average Black American who's trying to go to school and better themselves? So is that a form of reparations in one sense, because it's going to keep the Black American down and continue to elevate the immigrants that don't get put out, if that happens, and definitely prevent the Black American from being competition with the white American who has no problem getting into a WPI or an HBCU. So yeah, he's giving reparations, and he's doing it real cute. I land.
All right, Mel, thank you for coming up. I didn't get a tangent, Mel. When we were talking the other night about the Baron Trump, I just was like, yo, he's 18, he has autism. Like, yeah, I mean, I just didn't see it was any way possible that this dude would ever be president of the United States, when I know how fickle the people of the United States are. And I mean, now maybe in the year 2060 or something like that, Well, maybe that's a possibility, but I don't think anytime in the near future, Barron's going to be sitting up here in the White House, and like I say, and the perception and people's views of how people look at people in this country too. I mean, I don't see anybody with autism being president, in most of our lifetime.
Yeah, no. I mean, the way I loved how you came back with it, because to be honest with you, for anybody who was like, oh my God, what is going to happen? You kind of really brought it back up. You're just like, well, hold on, we got stops, we got blocks, we got checks, and we got balances, and blase scoop. So I mean, you were spitting game really. So that's what I meant when I said tangent. So yeah, I'm glad you were able to come back, because I think that whoever was listening, that might have made them feel better if they kind of see what Trump and them are trying to do, or what his supporters are trying to do. But also, I'm going to throw this out here too. Listen, before the election, folks are saying, hey, P2025, this is synonymous with Trump's, Plan 47. No. But quiet as it's kept. I mean, Trump did say it, Trump didn't say it in the Project 2025 about what he was going to do with board education. But lo and behold, Trump is doing what P2025 said it was going to do. So, and he ain't even in office yet. So for those who are still thinking that the two don't meet, okay, if that's what you think. All right, man. Thanks, Toter.
No problem. Go ahead, Rella. You got it.
Yeah, I believe Trump might have a touch of autism, which is why he sounds the way he sounds. Barron didn't get it from, he didn't get it out of, just out of nowhere. It could be a family trait. And let's always, keep it a buck. They keep people around them who run circles around them. I think there was a interview with, oh God, I forgot that guy's name. But the Republicans came out and say, well, Trump has picked his last whatever cabinet member that he's, picking, and hopefully he'll hold off until the election, like they're virtue signaling him, because they're giving him his marching orders. But one thing I do understand from watching the last presidency is he doesn't like to be told what to do. And he doesn't like to be, to be assumed that he is a player for everyone, because I do remember how he turned on even the Republican Party, and they could not control him. So it's going to be an eye-opener, to Mel's point, what's going to happen. And I would never trust that the American people would never vote a Barron Trump in office because he has a disability, because autism does not mean that you don't have the display ability to learn. You have a lot of autistic kids who have a different level of autism. And we don't know the extent of Barron Trump's son's autism. So it could be he's, just being prepped, as he gets older.
How many fat presidents have we had before, Rella?
Before Taft?
Yeah, just in modern times, how many fat presidents have we had?
Well, Lyndon B. Johnson was fat.
No, he wasn't. He was, but no, not fat. When I'm talking about fat, I'm talking about Chris Farley. I'm talking about John Candy. I'm not talking about being a little overweight or a little pudgy. I'm talking about fat. I'm talking about fat as hell. How many fat as hell presidents have we ever had?
Well, I mean, obesity could be, if you're just talking about like Taft, that's why I mentioned Taft. Because Taft was the biggest, but
and Taft is the biggest and the fattest president. And when was Taft president again?
That was eons ago.
Before the inception of even television, right?
Right, but I'm saying, but my point is,
how many presidents have we had that had a facial hair?
That have had facial hair?
Yeah.
Probably plenty. But so what?
In modern time, well, I'm saying that based off of the fickleness of the American people in terms of who we looks matter to a certain degree in terms of who we gonna have as president, and also too let's be for real. I really doubt seriously if FDR was in a day's time and he was in a wheelchair, with polio or not, he would ever be president of the United States.
You know what? Based on the way that Trump was again voted in office, and no one really, again, I keep thinking that we believe that, and you're right, optics and imagery do matter, but to the majority of the population, where they're more concerned about not just the optics, but someone who is in the position to run that can oppose and protect white fragility is also not just that, but also protect the fact that they can speak out and say whatever they want. I mean, people want the ability just to call people niggers and not be, censored by it. If people want the ability to, say racial slurs, or to, talk about how demeaning they can be to whatever groups or genders, and not be demeaned by it, whether it's the Democratic Party or not. So, yes, optics do matter, but I'm saying that there is a level of quality that we're watching that doesn't seem to matter in 2024. And if we don't course correct that, then I don't see Barron Trump not being in a position where he can be voted in because he was Trump's son. So to me, it would mean that Trump's presidency on the second go around would have to be better than it was the first time. And he is going to have to follow through with a lot of things that he promised in the campaign trail to his base. And that's going to be interesting to see, within these next 4 years.
We'll see. I don't think in anybody's lifetime in this space here, and I could be wrong, we could be 70, 80 years of age and we actually have somebody with autism as a president of the United States. And I get what you're saying. There's different levels. I know there's different levels of the spectrum. But like I say, in America, also, let's be for real too. People look at your president as someone that's supposed to have some type of power as well too. And when they sit down with people, presidents from foreign nations and leaders and dignitaries and everything else as well too, that plays optics. That also plays a role in it as well too. And who knows, 30, 40 years from now, how we might even look at autism. Who knows? We see autistic kids and autistic people, young adults, doing all kind of different things. But I just don't believe that as long as America's in the power that it's at right now, that they're going to put anybody in there that has autism. And I don't believe that even his own party, no matter what party you run for, especially if you talk about running as a Republican, is going to go ahead and champion that as well too. I could be wrong, but just based off of, like I say, the fickle nature of Americans and what men themselves look at as strength as well too. Because let's be honest, men look at when they're looking for leaders and stuff like that, you want to find somebody that has strength and all of the so-called qualities that people need to lead. And let's be for real, her being a woman, Kamala Harris, I'm not gonna say that was the main reason why she getting elected, but that played a part as well too. And I said that in the spaces before, and kind of a lot of people kind of were like shaking their head, like, "Oh, no." I'm like, yeah. Let's remember the time frame that is 2024 right now, and that you still have a number of men that have an issue with women being at a role as being the president of the United States. Hillary Clinton had a better chance of winning than what's her name, than Kamala Harris, and she lost. So I knew it was a lot of white women. For the matter of fact, a lot of white women weren't going to sit up here and have somebody that was a non-white woman sit up in the White House before them themselves as well too. And a lot of white women I know, even when Trump was running the first time against Hillary Clinton, especially down here in the Bible Belt here down here in the Florida and South, in the South area and stuff like that, a lot of women were telling me about they didn't feel confident in having a woman being president. Even though they were women telling me this, white women, older white women in their 50s and 60s at that time was telling me this. And I was kind of shocked. I said, well, no. I don't believe a woman should be preaching and this and that. This was coming out of their mouth. So I still think that we're still a long ways away from getting to that point that everybody wants to make it into a utopia, but there's no utopia a lot of people, and I don't think you're going to see a black president, or whether you want to call Barack Obama black or melanated, whatever you want to call him. I don't think you're going to see another black individual in that White House anytime soon as well, too. I'm not sure who was next. Was it Mel, or was it black majority state?
It's probably black. It's probably black. So let me go on mute.
Yep. Go ahead, Black.
Okay, I appreciate that. So how do I know that Barron Trump could be president in the future? There was an author who wrote a series of 3 books about it in the late 1800s. So there's that. But then there's also the fact that when during his campaign, when there was rumors that he was going to be a Florida delegate. Actually, I think the delegates actually voted to make him a Florida elector, and then his mother is the person who kind of pulled him off of that. She didn't want him to get into it yet. But in the Purple Pill, I put a list of some of the very successful people with autism, quote unquote. Elon Musk is on that list. Bill Gates, Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Charles Darwin. So it's one of those things where it depends on the person. Every individual's different with it, but sometimes that obsessiveness that you typically find in autistic people, it drives them to be very obsessive about the thing that they care about. And if that's mathematics, science, etc., then you end up getting these people with this large capacity for learning and understanding. And I've been around people who are on the spectrum, quote unquote, and they actually are very intelligent, but sometimes they have emotional issues, and not in a negative way, but they simply don't like being in crowds. They don't like loud noises. There's always some little thing that maybe affects their brain in a different way, but they can fully function, hold jobs, work, go to school, learn, etc. I think that the label of autism may be the thing that people may not necessarily understand, but it's a thing that's growing in our population. And I got my 1 strike on YouTube because I talked about it, so I'm not going to mention it here. I'll just say it has a lot to do with the things that young infants receive over a course of time, where they're getting way too many of those things. And I know RFK is the guy who really is anti that, as well as his VP, Nicole Shanahan. So again, with Trump being in office and them being around, that actually may provide a benefit to Black Americans if, in fact, they're able to put in a system that is permanent, that reduces and or is able to test to figure out if these things are actually creating health issues within the infant population, and maybe that's why there's a spike. But again, I don't want to get your YouTube channel in jeopardy, so I'll end with that.
All right, appreciate that, Black. Mel, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something, or you put it back down?
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, and I think like one reference that Black he didn't mention, but it brought this to mind. Savant. A lot of people with autism, I won't say a lot of people, but there are some people who are considered savants that have autism, who are all knowing and all seeing, and just have this extra bit of like kind of like what Black was saying, that focus that they zone in on when they put their head down and get into it. Boom, it's all said and done. So there's that end of the autistic spectrum as well. But they're saying that Barron has a IQ of 179, and I looked it up real quick, and I think they said like a high IQ is anywhere between 120 something and 159 or something like that. I don't believe that his IQ is that high. I think they're embellishing just like they embellish about the daddy. But the point is that they're pushing that. This is what they're coming up with, and that's what they want us to buy into. And then just back to this reparations thing. Also, P2025 also indicated that they're going to stop this racial data collection. So, moving forward, there's not going to be no more I mean, they're going to ask for it on the mortgage loans. I guarantee you, because they still got to find a way to discriminate. But they're just not going to collect it and keep it, keep records of it. So Trump's angle to do this with DEI, first of all, you're using a word that's been demonized. And Black Americans have not benefited from any type of DEI benefits in a large scale. White people are the ones that have held all the majority of the DEI offices and positions and things of that nature. So they're the ones that really ran DEI off the cliff. They came in, they took over it, they ran it off the cliff. And they didn't do a damn thing to stop it. So now, but what Trump is proposing, and he said it himself, we're going to get rid of this DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So the only people that are going to be able to benefit from what Trump plans on doing are white folks, period. Because they don't have to use race. They don't have to do any of that. They can just throw out the monster word DEI, boo, boogeyman, and they get to win. But as far as a black person, if they come up with the DEI, of course it's going to be, it typically is not going to go against a Black American who's in charge. It's not doing it right. It's going to go against the white person with their biases and things of that nature, and they're going to be able to shut that part down. So by default, Black Americans aren't even going to have a foot in to get reparations or repaired from that perspective. So I'll land right there.
All right. Thank you, Mel. DJ, you got your hand up. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, my bad. I just came back to the conversation. I had to step off for a minute, but yeah, I forgot. Go ahead. I'm listening to y'all. Go ahead. Y'all got it.
No. I mean, like I said, we're not trying to keep it open too much longer because we'll be back tomorrow. So if anybody wants to say something, if not, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close it out for the night. And we will be back tomorrow night, guys. So shout out to everybody coming up in the space supporting tonight, guys. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and end it. So peace. Everybody be safe and have a good one.